Welcome to yet another edition of TV Africa News. This is Africa Today. My name is Najma Luima, but first are the headlines. NRM SEC endorses Anita Among for Speaker. Skilling is the solution to youth unemployment, says Museveni. Uganda Democratic Republic of Congo soldiers in pursuit of ADF rebels in Ituri. Maroons knock out Ndeje University to qualify for quarterfinals. A warm welcome once again. Now the news in detail. The top organ of the ruling National Resistance Movement has endorsed Bukedea woman MP Anita Among as the party flag bearer in the forthcoming speakership race. According to sources, following hours of interviewing the various candidates at the top organ of the ruling party cleared Among as deceased Jacob Olanya's replacement. We have more. NRM Vice Chairperson for Eastern Uganda, Captain Mike Mukula, who is also a SEC member, confirmed the development through his tweet on Wednesday that Right Honorable Anita Among was approved by SEC to be the next Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. By being approved by the top party ruling organ, Among beat 11 other NRM MPs who were vying for the position. State Minister for Defence Jacob Oboth, Deputy Attorney General Jackson Kafuzi, Dokolo South County MP Felix Okot Ogong, Theodore Sechikubo, Jackson Atima Lee, Tororo Woman MP Sarah Opendi, State Minister for Sports Hamson Obua, Alex Chintu Brandon, the Kagoma North Legislator Florence Asimwe Akik, the Masindi District Women MP Okot John Amos, and Pius Wakabi are the other MPs who wanted the position. Carrying the NRM flag, Among will now tussle it out with the opposition candidate during the election to be held on Friday at Kololo Independence Grounds to replace Speaker Jacob Olanya, who died on Sunday from the US where he had been flown for treatment. Article 82, Cap 4 of the Constitution of Uganda provides that no business shall be transacted in Parliament other than election to the office of Speaker at any time that office is vacant. Uganda and Burundi have held their first ever business forum as one of the way to bolster relations between the two countries but also encourage trade. The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakoba, represented the Ugandan Minister for Trade, Francis Mwebasa.
The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakoba, said that for many years, Uganda and Burundi have been engaged in trade amongst themselves, but noted this was done at an informal setup. Minister Nabakoba explained that in 2009, Uganda exported goods worth $82 million, and this grew to $92 million in 2012, whereas imports from Burundi grew from $0.8 million to $2.8 million between 2009 and 2012, and by 2021, Uganda's exports were at $50 million from $37.03 million in 2019. The minister, however, noted that despite these individual efforts coupled with several bottlenecks, trade between Uganda and Burundi has continued. She insisted that the potential for business between Uganda and Burundi is very big, with both countries being potential markets and sources of goods for each other and export to the rest of the world. She said both governments of Burundi and Uganda are fully committed to assisting the private sector grow business partnerships between the two countries to help ease, identify and resolve challenges of trade through comprehensive agreement under the Joint Permanent Commission. Minister Nabakoba noted this is coupled with other prevailing factors like direct flights from Entebbe to Bujumbura as good incentives for business between the two countries.
President Museveni has said technical and vocational education and training is the solution to the issue of youth unemployment in the country. Museveni's remarks were delivered by Justice Kasule Lumumba, the Minister of General Duties, as Uganda Business and Technical Examinations marked 10 years of monumental strides since inception in 2011. In order to tap into the regional and continental market, the president said the country must first address the issue of quality, adding that the aim should be to produce good quality and efficient products for the international market. The president commended UBTAB upon reaching this important milestone and its contribution to the education sector through skills assessment, noting that when NRM came to power, there has been increased access to education at all levels. He said the introduction of universal primary education and universal secondary education resulted in higher enrollment rates at both primary and secondary levels. This, he said, accounts for the adult literacy rate in Uganda from 43% in 1986 to 76.5% today. He noted that the people of Uganda are better educated today. However, despite the increase in the number of people who can read and write, the country is still grappling with the skills gap. The executive secretary at UBTAB, Onesmus Oyesije, said over the years they continue to stick to the core values of integrity, professionalism, and this has enabled the country to successfully conduct all examinations as series without any examinations leakages. Let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, The Right to Know. A quorum of 100 or so troop carriers led by jeeps fitted with machine guns left Beni in North Kivu province for the town of Komanda in Ituri, kicking up yellow dust on the notorious and widely feared 105-kilometer long road in search for the Allied Democratic Forces rebels. Let's take a look.
The army reached the charred homes, burnt out vehicles and ghost villages which litter the Beni Komanda Road, a testament to the reign of terror inflicted by the Allied Democratic Forces rebel group in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. ADF fighters had ambushed the travelers as they made their way unescorted to Eringeti. In response, the army is deploying its new canine unit deep into the forests in which the insurgents retreat after their attacks. But the ADF often attack in the dead of night, seeking out isolated military positions and avoiding hand-to-hand combat with regular forces. Major General Camille Bombele, coordinator of joint military operations with the Ugandan army in the area, said that whenever the ADF is on the back foot, it attacks civilians in acts of asymmetric warfare in an effort to turn the population against the military. The heads of operations in the two areas held a command meeting to plan the protection of civilians who are suffering from ADF reprisals amid ongoing operations with the Ugandan army.
Former Nigerian presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has announced that he will be running again in next year's presidential elections. This is the sixth time that Abubakar tries to capture the presidency after having lost in 2019 to current President Muhammadu Buhari. Former Nigerian president candidate Atiku Abubakar told this to his supporters that he was happy to announce his candidacy for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria, said the candidate to his supporters. Security and the economy are key areas the candidate will focus on as the country grapples with jihadist insurgency in the northeast. Abubakar promised that under his presidency, he wants to focus on 5 key areas including unity of Nigeria's security, economy, education, and devolving more resources and powers to the federating units. After 2 terms under Buhari, a Muslim from the north, many southerners say the presidency should rotate back to their region. Under an unofficial deal among the political elites, Nigeria's presidency is expected to rotate between north and south in a form of power sharing, a bid to balance the mostly Muslim north and the predominantly Christian south. Moving on, the trial for the October 1987 assassination of former Burkinabe President Sankara and his colleagues resumed on Tuesday after the Constitutional Council rejected a defense petition.
The trial of 14 men for the October 1987 assassination of Burkinabe President Thomas Sankara resumed on Tuesday. In the Wagga 2000 venue serving as court, it was time for the speeches for the defense. The lawyer assisting the former medical officer charged with forging Sankara's death certificate pleaded for acquittal. 2 other defendants' lawyers also pleaded for their clients to be acquitted. Citing the 34-year time lapse between the trial and the acts alleged against the accused, they put forward a statute of limitations and a lack of witnesses. The Sankara trial was suspended in early March after the defense petitioned the Constitutional Council. Citing the council's approval of the military takeover by Colonel Damiba, the lawyers challenged the charges of crime against national security, asking for them to be dropped on the basis of an exception of unconstitutionality. However, the council rejected their petition on Friday.
Let's once again take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today, Egypt said on Tuesday that it will increase the transit fees for vessels, including oil-laden tankers, passing through Suez Canal, one of the world's most crucial waterways. The new increase are amendments to surcharge hikes imposed in March on vessels passing through the waterway, the canal said.
The Suez Canal Authority said on its website it will add 15% to the normal transit fees for oil-laden and petroleum products-laden tankers, up from current 5%. It said the increases will take effect starting May 1st and could later be revised or called off according to changes in global shipping. The canal says surcharge fees for chemical tankers and other liquid bulk tankers will be hiked to 20%, up from 10%, while laden and ballast dry bulk vessels will have their surcharges increased to 10%. Vessels carrying vehicles, general cargo and heavy lift vessels, as well as multi-purpose vessels will see a 14% increase, up from 7% according to the canal. It said that ballast crude oil and oil products tankers transiting the canal are still required to pay a surcharge of 5% of normal transit fees. Canal authorities have been working to widen and deepen the waterway's southern part, where a hulking vessel ran aground and closed off the canal in March 2021. The 6-day blockage disrupted global shipment. About 10% of global trade, including 7% of the world's oil, flows through the Suez Canal, which connects the Mediterranean and Red Seas. For Egypt, the canal, which first opened in 1869, is a source of both national pride and foreign currency.
In our health news today, Malawi rolled out the first round of a mass oral polio vaccine campaign for children under the age of 5 years. Responding to the call, women brought their children for immunization as the Malawian health minister took the lead in administering the shots.
Impressed by the turnout of women with their children in the exercise, Dr. Janet Kaita, World Health Organization representative in Malawi, said that there has been a huge massive effort to strengthen the routine immunization system. The exercises that kicked off on Sunday was as a result of an outbreak of wild poliovirus type 1 that paralyzed a 3-year-old child in the capital Lilongwe in February. Dr. Kaita pointed out the benefits of routine immunization, saying that they must not forget the routine immunization system, adding that it's through this immunization program that the children get oral polio vaccine and IPV to protect them against polio. Poliovirus is very contagious and spreads through person-to-person contact. It lives in an infected person's throat and intestines, with children under the age of 5 and those living in areas with poor sanitation being more at risk. In an effort to kick out polio, UNICEF has partnered with the World Health Organization and has trained 13,500 health workers and volunteers, 34 district health promotion officers, and 50 faith leaders. The campaign kicked off in Malawi, where drops of the inoculation are being placed in the mouths of children across the country, including the capital Lilongwe and the country's largest city, Blantyre.
And finally, in our sports news today, Maroons Football Club is the only entity from the FUFA Big League second division remaining in the 48th edition of the Stanbic Ugandan Cup. The winner of the Uganda Cup earns a ticket to represent the country at the CAF Confederation Cup. We have more on this story. The Uganda Prisons funded side ejected fellow second-tier side Ndeje University after a 2-0 home victory at the Lakeside Prisons Stadium in Ruzira during the round of 16 on Wednesday, March 23, 2022. A goal in each half from Fred Amaku and midfielder Norman Odiopio inspired Mohamed Senfuma's coached side to this win that booked them a quarter-final berth. Amaku scored a penalty in the 24th minute after he was brought down in the forbidden area. The former Busoga United centre forward calmly sent goalkeeper Emmanuel Akol the wrong way for the opener. Holding midfielder Odipio extended the lead for the 1968 and 1969 Uganda Premier League winners with a decent goal on the hour mark. Maroons then held onto the lead to qualify for the last 8 stage. Elsewhere, Pool ejected Soltilo Bright Stars 4-3 in post-match penalties after a 2-2 draw at the Kavumba Recreation Stadium in Wakiso District. That was the news. Thank you for always keeping it TV Africa. Please do stay tuned to more programming coming your way.